Welcome to another edition of TRANSLOGIC, brought to you by Chevrolet. I'm Bradley Haselmeyer. Today, we're with Gadget. We're here at his garage. It's Left Coast Electrics. Do you have a background in this?
I built my first car when I was 15 and a half. We're talking about building a car from scratch. It was tube steel. I had to take it to the Highway Patrol. I had to get numbers. I needed safety tests.
Wow.
I mean, from scratch.
Yeah.
Well, back in 2004, I had a motorcycle. So I converted that to electric. It was really dependable, but limited range, maybe 25, 30 miles.
Okay.
I thought I'll do my car as well. You know, it's great, but it was just tough getting parts.
Yeah.
And that was the point when I realized that there's a business here. Somebody needs to fill in the spaces.
Because it was hard to find those pieces.
Unavailable. I started going down the road of DC. The thing about a DC motor, and this is a 100-year-old technology, it has brushes in there that change the field so the motor goes around. Because it's metal and plastic, it can only withstand so many RPM before it blows up.
Like how many RPM could you roll in a DC?
Like 5,500, 6 grand, a smaller motor, maybe 7. But with an AC, I can go 10,000, 14,000. The Tesla runs 14,000 all day long.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Tesla. All right. And also regenerative braking off of AC.
Right. We can't do that with DC. With AC, we've got regen, which extends the range, and it makes your brakes last forever.
Which is awesome. You originally were using lead batteries, now you're using lithium, yeah?
Right. Well, the thing about a lead-acid battery, again, it's another 100-year-old technology. If you don't really take care of your batteries, you don't mother them to death, they may only last you 6 months. Where with the lithiums, they're happy being stored at 30% charge. They don't really care. In fact, they'd prefer that. They'd prefer that you charge them the night before you go drive and not leave them charged all the time.
What's coming up after that?
There is a different construction technique for lithium.
Those are the kinds that have like, it's almost like a CD spool, right? Like it's like a case with CDs.
Very thin like that.
Yeah, very cool.
Like in the Tesla, we have the little 18650 cells.
Yeah.
And there's 7,000 of them. With this battery, I can do the same thing with 80.
80.
80.
What's an average cost to convert or to do this?
It's about 24,000.
Okay.
And that's for a small car.
That's kind of a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but you're talking about a battery that's going to last you at least 10 years. You could kill the lead-acid battery in 6 months, and then it could end up costing you more.
Okay.
Once we can get the economies of scale up and start
making more, yeah, you get the volume.
We can drop the price.
Okay.
And then if we have something that the government will approve and we can get the tax credit, it drops down the cost of converting to 8,500.
Which is massive.
That's nothing.
Massively different. That's amazing. What's most exciting to you upcoming as far as advances in technology and advances in the industry and all that?
I'm working with a friend and we're developing a whole different type of electric motor. It's AC, but it's inside out. It's permanent magnet, and we can do field weakening, so that gives us the full torque off the line like a DC motor.
Okay.
We can cut the price of the motor in half. So this is part of how we're going to hit that $8,500 conversion price.
So you've got a replica of a 57 Speedster here in the garage. I think we need to drive it.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, here we are driving on a normal, good old city street. It's a beautiful day. Steering's a little stiff. There's no power steering.
Right. Just like the original, manual everything. All the controls are just like the original.
Okay. What's this?
Windshield wipers.
Oh, really? You pull them back?
Yeah.
That's funny. You know, the pickup, it's not the fastest thing off the line.
Right. Now, since it's AC, it starts out a little slower, and then you'll feel it kick in and it starts to take off.
Yeah, I felt that.
Yeah, and there are ways around that. That's why we're developing this new motor.
Okay.
That it has more of the DC characteristics off the line.
So a little more fun to drive.
Right.
And still practical and efficient and all that.
And actually more efficient than this motor.
Oh, wow.
Because it'll have permanent magnets in it. Electric motors, their RPM is dependent on the voltage.
Okay.
And so I'm right in the middle of voltage range with 72 cells. When I put in 100 cells, I'll be right at the top.
Okay.
So that's going to change my performance a lot. Right now, this one gets 100 miles, normal driving range. Not electric car miles, but real driving miles.
There's a difference?
If you go and you talk to people who do electric cars, especially conversions, they'll say, yeah, we've done this car, it has a 60-mile range. That's 60 miles, slightly downhill, tailwind on a Sunday.
So it's not actually very accurate?
No.
Okay.
No, this has been tested on the freeway, on surface streets, I get 100 miles.
Okay.
But I want to get like 120, maybe 130. Standard transmission.
Okay.
But I just leave it in second gear. Since our motor redlines at 10 grand, I don't want to run a clutch at 10 grand.
Yeah.
Because they can explode at that RPM. So if somebody really wants one and they want to go through the gears, I would have to get them a racing clutch that would handle that kind of RPM without exploding.
Wow.
I have this one set for maximum efficiency, so the regen is pretty hard on it.
The regen on this is much stronger than on the Tesla, I think. Yeah, because we just let off a little bit and it stops us pretty quick.
Yeah, imagine having a car where you never have to get the brakes done.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You get a lot of looks in this car?
All the time.
All the time. Gadget, thanks so much for letting me drive this beautiful machine.
Pleasure.
I love that you're doing practical applications with electrical cars, but they're not boring. Thanks again.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you.